Okay, thank you all for showing up. And this is the third Q&A session of the day regarding Euzen, of which the core members are here. As you can see, we have Christopher and Maria. And the idea behind the Q&A is that Castlefest gives you the opportunity to ask questions to awesome band members like these. I will do a brief introductory round of questions, only briefly, because I know you have yours. And after the brief introduction, I will go downstairs and I will be over there. Don't be shy to be the first person to ask a question. Take the opportunity to be the bravest one. And if you have trouble translating your question into English, I can help. Though my Italian, Spanish, and German is not that good, Dutch to English, and if you have problems with the answer, I can translate English back to Dutch as well. For the other languages, we're going to have to try. I think.
So you can translate Danish back
Danish to Norwegian. I only know something like "Jeg elsker dig." The only other word I know is "sjukhus," but we don't want to go there, right? So it's like hospital in Swedish, I believe. Is it? Yeah, yeah. The Hugh is really. He can say it. Okay, so we can talk about Euzen, of course, but these people are also a big part of Heilung, and I think some of you have been there when they were at Castlefest. Yeah. Oh, wow. And then there's this special kind of project I'm wondering about, Songleikr. Who has heard of that? So quite well known. It's not the only thing you've been a part of, and that will be part of my first question. So I will sit down now, get back up later, and be over there. First of all, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for inviting us, Alex. Lovely to be here.
Thank you.
I have this. For me, it feels like a collector item, and I don't know how to pronounce the name of the band, but I think it was your first one, Evas.
Oh my God. You have that?
Yes.
Keep it secret.
I think I have two of them, something with blue and one with red.
Yeah.
Was that how you started out?
That was my first project. That was my first band ever. I think I started it when I was 17. Together with three guys who were throat singing and playing drums. Funnily enough, no one thought that was cool at the time when we were doing it.
Way ahead of your time.
But
I was only making fun of it, and that's how I learned to throat sing, actually.
Yeah. No, the funny thing is that I didn't sing at that point. I only played drums. So I was invited to the group to play drums and a bit of didgeridoo somehow. That was also snuck itself in. And then at some point, one of the guys was like, "Hey, Maria, can't you sing? You're a girl, of course you can sing a song." And it's like, okay, does all girls sing? I didn't know that, but yeah, well, maybe I can try. And I had this very weak, high voice, not loud at all, and it was okay, but the guys were playing drums, like 4 of them, big drums, big guys, throat singing, and no one could really hear my voice over all that. So I just had to learn how to get power, how to get the sound to carry over, because we were playing acoustically in Viking markets in Norway and Iceland. And so that's basically how I found my voice with this group.
You found your voice indeed, because that is an expression in English as well, right? I mean, you found the way to sing, but you also put something in your music. We just had a session where we talked for an hour about pagan folk. You were a part of the music scene which is called pagan folk, but you also dove deep into old traditional music, and you wrote some of your own. How do you find the right music that fits in your set list? How do you select the songs you want to play?
For which project?
Exactly. I was still in Eva's time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, you kind of just played what you had, right?
Yeah. We had we did what we could with the abilities we had. So I mean, there was some drums and throat singing, and And I started. I've been writing since I was a child, writing poems and songs. So, but with Evas and the world and folk music, traditional music was hugely inspirational source for me, and that's where I wrote the Vinda, which I'm very, very happy that people seem to love today also.
You know it's my favorite song, right?
Yes, thank you.
You know what I like about that song is that many people think it's actually a folk song, like it's something original, very old. Maria is obviously very young, so it's not that old. But it's become a folk song, right? Like so many people do an interpretation of it, which.
But I had forgotten all about that song until you were digging through my CD collection and you were listening to it and like, Maria, shit, this is a really good song. Why is it kept away? And I'm like, I don't know. And then you took it to the studio and you enhanced it a bit, and we started playing it live. Yeah.
It is a very, very beautiful song. It's
Thank you.
yeah. A friend of mine who is sitting over there, Arjan, learned it word for word in the language it was written in, and he sang it for me. I think it was last year. Well, let's not go there because I will cry. But it's so beautiful, and the weird thing is, I actually don't understand the lyrics. It's just the feeling that you put in there that touches me in a way I cannot explain. And what is weird, if we go to all the projects you have now, whether it's Euzen, Heilung or Songleikr, there is that kind of connection that is there to what you create. And at what point did you decide to diversify? Because they are not the same. Songleikr is a minimalistic kind of music, traditional, and Heilung is, I love the term, amplified history. And then there's Euzen, which is, you call it folktronica, right?
No,
Our folktronica band was Valravn, which was the first band we came here with to Castlefest the first time.
2008.
Yeah. I feel old now. But Euzen is progressive rock.
We always struggle to find a genre for Euzen. Always, also, I mean, it's progressive, electronic, folk, experimental, a bit of gothic, a bit of.
It's called Christopher and Maria having fun in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how it starts, right? I mean, you just... I remember the story you told about a guy in your garden when you came home who was just smacking away with a hammer on some iron, and you were promising from, I think, one floor up, shouting down the window, no, this is gonna be cool, right? This is gonna be awesome. And that turned into what?
The Heilung thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically Kai half naked in my garden screaming, and I guess the neighbors didn't really understand why. And Maria came home one day, I think heard him screaming, and was like, "What are you guys up to? What have you been eating?"
It was the summer, and that was my first encounter with Heilung. It was Kai was supposed to just recite some poetry, some Old Norse poetry in Christopher's studio, and then he went to the singing booth.
And I was getting a tattoo.
Yeah, that was like a trade, Old Norse poetry to a tattoo, and Kai was just going into the singing booth and doing his thing, screaming, being all crazy. And Chris was like, "Shit, can I put some beats on that?" And that's how it started. And I come home and I just see Kai half naked screaming in the garden, and like, what the fuck are going on? what are these guys doing here? Oh, sorry, am I allowed to swear?
Yes, you are in the Netherlands. We can do a lot of things here that you cannot do in other countries. I hope you keep on having fun like this, because you're diversifying and there's all kinds of beautiful projects sprouting from this, and I think it's well appreciated by the audience. And I hope they show by asking you questions. So I won't take up much of their time now, and I give them the opportunity to ask questions they've always wanted to ask you. And then, we see where it goes. I don't know what is in store for you now. It might be about Songleikr, Heilung, or Euzen. We're just going to have to wait and see. Enjoy the ride. Is there anyone who dares to ask the first question? Many. You are welcome to form a queue, so you are not left behind when the first question is being asked. Okay, go ahead. Please state your name, who the question is for, if not both.
Hello, I'm Evelyn. I have 2 questions. I'm going to be a bit greedy. Maria, I'm just really, really amazed by your voice. It's amazing. How did you learn to sing like that?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, as I briefly, it was because I had to sing together with guys playing big drums. So basically, that's how it started to search for, okay, where is the volume? I knew that opera singers, they don't need microphones, they just have their body to use. And I think a lot of being a singer is finding your own voice and how you can express feelings. And I'm very, very motivated and inspired by traditional folk music from all over the world. There's so many beautiful singing techniques to learn from there. Yeah.
And do you think you're ever going to be working with Ivor?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm doing a cover of one of her songs secretly with the Songleikr on some Viking markets in Norway. I think
it's not a secret anymore.
No, it isn't a secret anymore. Oh, don't tell anyone. No, no. But she's in my eyes the most talented female singer of our time. Period. She's amazing.
I think your 2 voices together, and then maybe Einar as well. That would be. I will die happily after that.
Well, you already did a song together with Einar, right?
Yeah, with
Kaunan. Yes, that's right.
I love that one, and I know from Einar and Ivor together. So I thought, with your voice as well, that would be heaven.
I'm all open. They can just call.
I will tell her.
Thank you for having the courage to be the first one. You got quite a list. Okay, then this is why it's important to have like a queue, and maybe let's keep it at 2 at a time, and you can always walk back to the back of the queue. So pick the one you want to ask first.
Yes. Hi, my name is Rosie, and my first question is, where did you get the inspiration for writing the lyrics of the Euzen songs?
Good question. From many places, I would say. Every time I would feel, I say I, because I wrote all the lyrics except one, which Chris and me wrote together, which ended up being a
very complicated
song. But every time I would feel strongly for something, my tool is to put it into a lyric, and then I go to Chris, and maybe I have a fragment of a melody, and he helps to build it up. So meaning that all the songs derive from somewhere, some place in my life where I felt strongly for something. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
I would like to elaborate on this, because I think like the way I see your lyrics happen is also the same way as we create the music, right? Like it grows organically, basically. It just happens. And we kind of try to translate it into something that is audible for you guys.
Great, thank you. And I was wondering, what is for both of you the best memory of a performance you ever did?
The best memory?
Yeah, your best memory.
All bands or specifically?
It doesn't matter. Of performing.
I would say the first Heilung concert at Castlefest in 2017.
That was something very special.
Yeah. It was really cool.
But also like the first Euzen show in a smoky club in Copenhagen, you know, with...
Oh, I was so nervous there. I don't remember anything of it.
We didn't... Some of the songs we haven't written completely at that time, so Maria just did it on the looper kind of thing. Dwelling, I think. There's many. It's far too many.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. On to the next, because we have quite a queue.
Hey, my name is Melle. First of all, I want to say thank you for making the music that you do. It's great. It touches me. Yeah. I have two questions. My first question is regarding throat singing. I've practiced it myself. Please don't make me do it. I don't want to do it.
I want to hear it.
No. Okay, so it's at least what I've read upon. It's from Mongolia, primarily Tuvan throat singing, Kargira, stuff like that. How did you guys come to implement this in your music? Is it a particular philosophy or is it just a sound?
I think there is a description about how the Vikings sounded when they were singing, and it was something like howling dogs and barrels falling down a hill or something like that. But you hear throat singing or at least growling, different type of techniques, many places, also among Inuits and stuff like that. So I think it only felt natural to go to that direction, because when for Heilung particularly, when we started to write music for this, we haven't found any drums, for instance, in the north. So we can either go by, oh, they didn't play drums, or maybe they did, right? Like any other tribal people everywhere in the world, right? And so on and so on. And so what I mean about we try to, in an artistic way, to fill in the gaps on how we think it is, right? It's always an artistic interpretation, and throat singing, for some of it, is not directly the same technique as catering or other types of overtone singing, but it's more in a primal growling type way,
Almost like shamanistic.
And so it only feels natural, I think, and that is my internal guide way to do.
Keep doing it.
Thanks.
My second question is, when is the Heilung and Vardruna collaboration going to happen?
Well, can someone call Einar, then we figure it out.
One of my friends asked Einar at the concert, and he said, it's up to you guys. So.
We would say it's up to him.
We of course know each other, you know. We and meet each other on the same. And I have huge respect for Vardruna. He does a great job. Of course, he has his thing, and we have our thing. I don't see art as something that is a competition. I see it as everyone is colleagues, you know, and I'm generally a very open person for many things.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Let's see what the future brings.
All right. Good luck playing tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi. I have a question about Euzen. You have a very specific, unique sound, and I was wondering how you found and came up with the sound.
What sound?
The sound for Euzen, more in general.
Oh, the name?
No, not the name. The atmosphere of the music.
Oh, sorry, it's just because it's a little. Can we get a little bit more volume on the monitor there? It's hard to hear.
Brian is asking, you have a very specific sound for Euzen.
Yes.
So how did that came to be? How did you come up with that particular sound?
Yeah, it's very particular. I think through experimentation, you know, when we started out Euzen, we were like, okay, we want to make something that we want to hear. We wanted to create a playground where we can do stuff that we haven't heard anywhere else, right? So that was kind of the first guideline. Euzen sound is often shown by changing a lot during one arrangement. So it can almost sound like different songs within the same song. Sometimes we use, for instance, like a feeling of a cabaret or something for a specific thing. Other times we go more in a rock or classical or folk direction. But I think as I am like producing everything we do, like not only Euzen but everything. I guess over the years have developed my own footprint on the sound, and that it can also be heard on other bands that I've been producing, right? And I think we just follow our ear. Does this sound nice? Yeah, okay, great, then that's it.
Thank you. Then I have one second question. Since you're very busy with Heilung, can we expect a new album of Euzen?
It's so close. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassingly close.
Okay.
We basically we have all the material. It's just some final touches here and there. So now we only need a month somewhere.
Yeah. One thing that happened was that we had to move our sound studio because the building was being turned down by the municipality. And therefore we were actually planning to do that album there, and we had to use the time on building a new studio, and that takes a little time to do. But we are back on track, and we will also today showcase new songs.
That's great. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
So you say in about a month's time?
No.
No, we need a month. We need to find a month to finish it, and then
Spread over 5
I was getting
5
my
years.
hopes up for like Festival Medieval maybe, or yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to be patient.
Hi, I'd love to know about throat singing. How do you do that?
What does a car say when you drive a car? Like that, yeah. So that's a good starting point. So you go to win, win, you know?
Uh-huh. and from there, because I've tried to do it several times,
There
but
is
I
a-
tend to hurt my throat after
Yes,
a while.
there is a 99% chance that you will hurt your voice, so you have to search for that 1% where you don't. No. I think everyone would be able to do, but it takes a lot of practice. It's actually really good for your voice when you master it. And I think, once you have it in you, it will stay with you, I think.
Great.
I don't want to claim that the type of throat singing I'm doing or the others is Mongolian type. That they are far better at. So our one is a little bit more in the rough terrain.
Just to follow up on that, you started talking about the throat singing back from the times of Elas.
Yes.
And you were talking about these men that were producing that sound. And they asked Maria, oh, you're a girl, so you can sing, and you have this beautiful high voice. Now we have this beautiful young lady, who is definitely not a strong man. Is it feasible for
woman.
Yeah, you bet. Is it feasible for women to achieve the throat singing
Yes.
as well?
One thing I want to say about this is that in Heilung we have both men and women in the warrior group, and all of them has the same rules. All of them can throat sing or scream or yell and be warrior-like. We are gender neutral on that matter.
But I would like to add that since I started playing as a 16-year-old with these guys throat singing, I've been trying to do it, and I simply I can't.
But you do a mean overtone singing.
Yeah,
though.
I can overtone sing, which is easier, but it's totally doable. I hear so many cool women throat singing, so it's totally doable. But just as Christopher said, you have to find that relaxed place in your throat and just work with it, and keep working on it.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, I'm Gianna, and that's a question for both of you. What do you enjoy most, writing the songs, recording in the studio, or performing? How does it feel for you?
Excellent question. It's hard to say what we like most, I think, because there are 3 very different aspects, and 3 are very rewarding in each their way. Writing a song is release, and you feel your mind going somewhere else. You're leaving this world for a moment, and that is very meditative and lovely state to be in. And the recording is technical and challenging and fun, and you see everything come together as a greater whole. So that is very satisfying. And live is, of course, one big release of being locked inside a bubble for sometimes years with some material, and finally you get to blast it out on a big stage with huge speakers and see how it affects the people. And yeah, so that's a huge reward. I can't tell what I like most. Do you, Chris?
I like all.
Yeah.
But really, I like this is you go through a circle, a circle of life. When with these things, right? You know, when we create music, we record at the same time. So many times when you hear an album from us, whether it's Euzen or Heilung or whoever, the things you hear is actually more or less always this first time we did it. Because we have a sound studio, so we are not standing and practicing in a practice room when we do stuff. We create it on the spot, right? And so our lives are basically being locked in for months in a room only with a few people. And then, you know, when you come out and you see the sun, and you're like, oh, what should we do with this? And then, you know, perform it live. And I want to say that, and not many people think about this, but when the band is on stage, the audience is half the concert. So we are watching you. Watching us, right? And we create it together. So a live concert is more than just the band playing the music. It's also how the people in front of the stage are perceiving it and creating a moment together with the band. And for me, I love being at a concert and watching people and making it with us.
If I'm not misinterpreting the lyrics, you actually once wrote a song about this, the synchronicity, I think it was. When you're at a festival together or experiencing concerts together, there's this, well, you can better explain it than I probably, but there's like these minds come into a similar state and it creates a bond between the people in the audience, right?
Well remembered, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for being here. My name is Yara, and I actually have one question, but I also want to say something because my friend just reminded me. We were at the sauna like 2 weeks ago in one of those hot air shows where they wave the hot air around. He actually used the Heilung music there, and I just want to say it really made the whole experience a lot more magical.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it was great.
I love the taking sauna. That's fantastic to hear.
That was just lovely. But my question is actually, it might be a little bit ridiculous, but what's your favorite rune?
Favorite rune?
Yes.
Oh, good question. Good question.
If you have one or multiple, maybe.
It's a hard question because normally you would create a binding rune. You would combine more.
Yeah, bind rune is perfect as well.
Yeah. So and it depends, of course. I worked with runes from a very young age and using them to what's the English word? Not to predict the future as such, but like if I just had a question, I had these amulets
like
and I would
runes.
throw them and then read and find some answers. For me, they all have their own meaning. So it's like hard to pick one out because they function as a whole in a way. Do you have anything to add? Yeah.
You know, both me and Maria, we started being Vikings before it was cool as children and Viking markets. And one of my assignment as a child was sitting and making these leather armbands for people, like branding. And at one point, I was just so tired of runes, you know. What I think Algis, definitely. Algis is my rune.
Thank you. Thank you so much for answering.
Thanks.
Hello, I'm Mark. I have a question about first album and how it differentiates from the others. Because the first album for me sounds very electronic and more sample-based, and it reminds me more of like the breakcore things happening with the voice cuts. And then after the second album and onwards is more rock-ish for me. So I want to ask about how that change came to happen, if it was a conscious decision.
It's a very simple answer to that. The first album was made by Christopher and me alone. Where it was only the two of us. And after Eudaimonia, we got a band.
Yeah. Well, that explains it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeroen. Your Heilung music has like old sounds in it, but do you also use really old instruments? Did you research something? Did you recover things. So what did you use?
We started off by taking stuff that weren't really instruments, but collecting sounds that we knew they must have used, like stones clashing together, ice breaking, bones hitting, and all kinds of body sounds. Live we use, I think the oldest instrument we use is, well, the human bones, of course, but
They're quite old.
Quite old, yeah. And what more? Because
You have the Ravanhata.
the Ravanhata, yeah, but it's newly built, but it's a very, very old instrument. It's called a desert sitar. It's from Rajasthan, from the gypsies in India. And you might wonder why bring an Indian instrument into a Nordic music project. But somehow we knew we were traveling, our ancestors were traveling, and also was inspired by other cultures. And the sound just fits so well. It has this really hoarse grinding with a tone, like it's almost mixed between throat singing and overtone
But
singing.
it's like
on
human
a string
hair,
instrument.
right?
Yeah, and I play on human hair. Yeah.
I think there must have been a point in time where humans or the ones before us must have been sitting, and they took up a stone or a piece of bone, and they thought, okay, I can either use this as a weapon or make art, right? As two directions you can go, or both. I don't know. I'm not a professor in that, but what I mean is that we use very basic stuff, and we use also sounds from nature. Nature can sometimes be the best instrument, right? It's very polyrhythmic and but it has a logic to it also, right? There are certain frequencies that wants to ring more in water or fire and so on, right? And we use these very basic things. Of course, we use these home-built frame drums and bigger skin drums. But else, we are actually more or less only using wood or bones and very simple thing. You also, for the new Heilung album, you had a goat flute made for Nurubu, yeah. I think. And that song was more touching on the Norwegian rune poem, and it made sense to use a Norwegian flute from the area, from that period for that.
Okay, thanks.
Hi again.
Hello, I'm Leah. I want to thank you for your music. It's very inspiring in all projects. And when I listen to Euzen, I get very strong images of things like a music video, but my own music video. So I sometimes wonder, like, if I made a music video and uploaded it somewhere on the internet, would you hate it or would you like it? It's like, is it like no copyright?
I think there's like these web bots doing stuff, but I don't know.
Well, it depends which project, because with Euzen, we are. I mean,
Yeah, there's still like a robot somewhere, knowing that is our song.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
it
It
yeah.
is. Like
I don't know. I'm not sure how.
When
works.
we put music videos to our YouTube channel, there will be a copyright claim on us also.
Yeah.
And some robot says you are using someone else's music, and I'm like, what?
but
what?
we made this.
Are you sure? So,
but I've seen some videos. There are some videos on YouTube from artists making animations and stuff, and I absolutely love it. If that is your question, like if we would love it or hate it, I think it's so amazing to see that other artists can be so inspired by something we have made that they want to make something themselves that collaborates with that project.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I think it's a lot of very meaningful part of creating is to see that you can create something together.
Yeah.
I saw once a video of like this conservatory band or something that did a cover of one of the Euzen songs.
Yeah, for their examination.
Yeah.
That
was really they're really
awesome.
good. Nice song.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Benjamin. I wanted to ask kind of a follow-up, actually. You used to have this thing on YouTube called Have You Seen the News? What happened to that?
Oh making those. Yeah, that was fantastic. I think what happened was that all of a sudden
we
didn't have so many news because we got super busy with the whole studio project and Heilung and everything. But yeah, hopefully there is some more news soon. We actually started making some really cool commercials to have like a breakup in the. Have you seen the news? So we have some material still of some good friends making funny.
Yeah, with other people than us. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we should get back to that.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking it up.
You know, you seen. This is one thing I want to state because I see this question happen a lot. Is Euzen dead, basically? And no, it's not. It's not dead.
I think people will see tonight that it's very much alive.
It's very much alive and evolving and growing. We have more band members on stage this time than we normally have. I think like Euzen have been going on for a very long time, and like with anything, sometimes maybe it's okay that it sleeps a little bit and then it wakes up stronger, right? I still love this project, and one thing that you guys should know also is that Euzen is something that happened to as a thing me and Maria did together from the very beginning of our relationship also. So it's kind of like a time capsule through our lives, so to say, right? And it will always stay with us, definitely. I don't think it will ever end, actually, for that matter.
No, I can totally see ourselves sitting in the elderly home playing.
No, it's in 17 beats, you know.
You used to play that in D. No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Berg. I have a bit weird question, but when you have to play in Heilung or in Euzen, are there different feelings with the audience, or well, how does it feel actually to have so many people staring at you? Actually,
yeah, that's a good question. Is it different? Well, yeah, I would say because Heilung aims to put you all in this trance-like states where we actually we want to escape together with you to some other place and just stay there for the duration of the song. So it's and with Euzen it's more. I mean, to compare, if we play 1 hour with Heilung, we can play 4 songs. If we play 1 hour with Euzen, we can play 15. So it's more stops and breaks, and also it's actually an important difference that with Euzen I'm more I can feel I can talk to the crowd, to you guys, and actually tell little stories between the songs. And with Heilung it's not a thing because it's a full ritual from beginning to end. It would be super weird if I all of a sudden and the next song is called Hammer Hippier and
like us on Facebook, you know.
Yeah, come on, buy our CDs.
And the next one is about to alter your mind, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of would break the mood. So yeah, it's 2 very, very different projects. So they feel very different. But I never feel like the eyes looking. I feel more like it's we're in this together. Our minds are in the same place and we're sharing something. So it doesn't feel scary. It feels safe, actually.
all right. Thank you very much.
If you hang around, I'm wondering about the third project, because the Euzen and Heilung are up on stage, and you're looking down at the audience, and there are loads of people there, and then you have this beautiful small nugget of a project that is Songleikr, where you play at these medieval markets or Viking markets. Sorry. And it's a completely different setting, right? Sometimes you sit down on the ground and there is a limited amount of people in between the tents that are there. Yeah. So how does that then, how do you experience that? It's a completely different setting.
I think, first of all, like what we do with Songleikr is that there is no amplification. It's only acoustic, meaning that we have to, sometimes when you do the mix like the sound mix for the audience. It's about how far away or how close you are to them, which I find very interesting. But not all history needs amplification, I think. And also we are. It's a good excuse to get out of this big technical thing it sometimes can be, being on stages. And have a good excuse to get back to the Viking markets.
Yeah, because not all history needs amplification, you say, and it shouldn't be amplified because this is how we are interpreting our traditional music, is to play it in the way it was used to be played hundreds of years ago, where you would sit around the bonfire and you would tell a tale, tell a story, and play some instrumentations to it, and get the audience to sing along, and you have this participation thing going. So it's a completely different tradition, and very cool to have that contrast. I love that. Yeah.
You always look very happy in the pictures you make when you're out with Songleikr. So
I'm in general, I'm happy. In general.
Okay, we have another question from the audience.
Hi, hello, my name is Russell. I have a question for the both of you. I saw on your Facebook page that the summary of Heilung says that Heilung should not be misinterpreted for a political or religious statement. And I was curious why you would write that down. Was that to avoid any discussions, or would you be afraid that people would use it to start a certain discussion or not?
It's very simple. It's because it's not, right? And you know, imagine if we could like invent a time machine, right? And we could like transport a person from the Bronze Age to here. That guy wouldn't understand what is going on here at all. It would be completely impossible. Like if you took any city people here and brought them back to the Bronze Age, they would not survive a day in the forest, right? And I like to think that the Earth has spun so many times around that it's completely different today, right? And therefore it's impossible to link stuff from this to something that happens today. That includes modern religions and politics. We are not doing a political message with Heilung at all.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful answer to a difficult question, and I love the term you use, amplified history, because you really dive into it. And I know the translate stake. The thing that when you first performed it, Heilung, here at Castlefest, I was backstage the next day trying to work on the material we had made from that previous day. And Erik Wilderman, who did the footage of your awesome show that time, was working on your material, and I could not concentrate. I was just drawn into it again. And there's so much power there, and it's, I don't know, it's like supernatural, but it's not, because it's very natural.
But I agree. It felt exceptionally strong, and I remember waking up the morning after the concert, and I actually woke up crying of just emotions just spilling over, and I just had to call Belle, Christopher's mom, because I knew she was watching the live stream, and just like, did you see it? And then she started crying, and I cried again. I was like, okay, well, it was real. Something happened. We did actually influence and create something that felt very big. Yeah.
I think this marks something very special for us in our lives, but also for Castlefest, right? That because you know it's kind of crazy for a festival to hire a band that's never played before to be the headliner of a festival.
We have this tryout, and
it worked. Oh, great!
Go on the main stage on the prime time.
It's going to be live streamed, and
And this shows. This really shows also a big cadeau to Castlefest and you know Ricky, Mark, and Natasha. Their trust also in us as musicians, but also the trust in the Castlefest crew. Because this was something we built together, Castlefest and Heilung. Because when we made Heilung, it was kind of the same when we made the first Euzen album. We were like, oh, it's never gonna go live. It's too complicated. It's never gonna happen, right? Who need breathing pauses? And Mark in particular was really pushy to have us do this show, right? And it ended up being a wonderful collaboration, which also ended up being Lifa, which is our live album and our live videos on YouTube, which is basically why most people know who we are. That is because of these videos, right? And yeah, I think Castlefest is Heilung in that way. I think this is something that started here as a collaboration.
Every now and then I watch back the show, sometimes the individual songs, sometimes the full-on experience, and I'm amazed at the counter that is there below the video. It's in the millions of views. So you are really touching so many people that want to relive or maybe for the first time get an idea of what happened that day.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, have you ever seen the video where there are these two American people that judge videos, and they get a tip? Hey, have a look at Heilung, and I can't remember the song it is, but they're like, what on earth is this? And
yeah, we saw it. It's hilarious.
There's many reaction videos
now, yeah. But I think the one you're thinking about, because they're also talking a bit about how to connect their Christian beliefs into the, I think it's Al-Father Haiti that they're talking about. It's super, super interesting to watch someone sitting on the other side of the world and connecting it, and it's beautiful. I love it. Yeah.
We have a thing we always say in the beginning of every show that remember that we are all brothers, and that is meant gender neutrally. But I think it's so touching, you know, when we get these reactions. We also get a lot of reactions from tribes around the world, for American or South American or other places, Asian, and for me this is what I want to do, right? I have this concept that if you dig far enough back into history, through people's local heritage and music or law traditions, things become more and more the same. And like instruments start to look like each other. You see them, many of these instruments also here in Castlefest. Like for instance the dulcimer, which is also a hakkebræt, which also is a santur, so on. Same instrument, a box with strings on, right? Or the rabanhata, a stick with a string on, right? Yeah. Or a drum, right? Like, but also the stories, the paintings, the carvings. The human emotions becomes the same thing that is described, and it becomes more and more similar. And I think like music is a good language to connect with people, and kind of together we can create something that if I can show where I'm from and be happy about that and be proud of that, then I can at the same time rest in that we are more or less all the same.
Yeah, there you are. I was first. So sorry. Thank you for these beautiful words, because I totally agree with you, and I think it's awesome that there are people like you who bring this message across the globe, because the video went viral and you've been like everywhere since, and you're going places still.
Yes.
On multiple continents even. So I think it is awesome that you give other people the opportunity to connect in that way.
I think me and Maria, we both got a little, tear in our eyes when we saw a Game of Thrones trailer with our music.
Yes.
Being the nerds we are.
That was kind of.
I didn't expect it, but
top of my list. Like, okay, that ever happens, wow, And then label boss is calling, like, "Are you sitting down?" And we're yes.
I still don't get, like here's Healing, the sound, the band Heilung, and here is all the death scenes of that particular. I love that.
It's amazing. And then there are two people still standing here. Be aware, we have only a couple of minutes left. So make sure that you're in the queue if you still have a question to ask, because we will be rounding up pretty shortly.
Hello, it's Evelyn again. I was wondering, how long before Heilung the concert starts? Do you start with the preparation? Do you have a ritual to get into that shamanic state of mind?
It takes a whole day. It takes a whole day. Yeah. We begin in the morning, and everyone is going through their different kinds of rituals and trainings, and preparing, and putting makeup on is its own ritual in itself. So yeah, it takes a day.
Is it exhausting? How do you feel after a concert?
No,
Are you still on Earth?
So calm, and
Kai is not on Earth after a concert.
Yeah.
Is he ever on Earth?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. We have a very big group we're traveling with. So everyone, it's like traveling with this mini medieval town or something on wheels. Everyone is have different skills. Like there's one that is a physiotherapist, or there's like
psychologist.
Like,
we have a chef. We have
we have it all actually.
That's very handy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi. So all of your projects are quite strange, in a good way.
Thank you.
How did you get the confidence to release that out to the world? Were you ever worried at any point that it wouldn't be accepted, or did you just not care?
Yeah.
No, I think in the beginning I was a bit like, okay, this is very weird. With a Heilung, with Euzen, I didn't care. Songleikr, I knew it was traditional music, so it already was accepted, so that was kind of okay. Yeah. With Heilung, I had my doubts in the beginning. I was okay. This is very out there.
Yeah.
I wonder how it will be received. Kai was always like, "This is gonna be huge."
He can see the future. That is his department, right? I was like, okay, if like one person would like Heilung, that would be great, like my mom or something. But she does. Yeah. So that's great.
But you're right. I mean, but then you just have to go for it and just say, yeah, let's just do it. And luckily it went well. Yeah.
It's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
There is a special member in the audience.
Wow.
I'm going to give him the first. He has a very special question.
Do you have the car keys?
Oh my God.
Give a hand for Harold, my dad, and the guitar player of Euzen. Yeah, Harold, do you have a story?
I will not tell you a story because my stories is not suitable for this great audience.
Hey, she found them.
Thank you.
See you tonight.
Do you have the car keys?
Which I think also is our cue that I think one more question and then we actually gotta run.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, my last question is, what is your favorite Euzen song to play live?
Oh, but we have 4 new ones now. I don't know yet. But of the old ones, oh, I love them all.
Everyone is different.
Everyone is so different, that's the thing. But Judged By is always close to my heart.
Yeah, that brings me to another question. Well, it's a little... Your One is like my favorite and special song. It really means a lot to me. Back in 2015, it didn't make the set list. And I actually was wondering, does it make it the set list this year?
I'm so sorry, no.
This is the sad thing about making many albums, is that you have to cut your darlings sometimes. We really want to show you something great tonight.
I'm really looking forward
and
to
we
it.
have new songs that we love. So I would actually say one of the new songs is definitely my new favorite. Definitely.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it tonight.
Thank you. And there will be also some surprises. I think I just very quickly tell the story about
Yes,
Christian.
I think
You can see the time you still have left.
we have 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Go.
So what happened 4 weeks ago is that Christian, our drummer, broke his shoulder. So that made us panic quite a bit. We called Mark and we said, Mark, sorry, I don't think we can pull it off. We can't train a new drummer in time. This is going to be super hard. And Mark was almost crying. And like, but, what about Rob? Sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. Rob, the...
Rob van Barschot.
Yes, thank you. And
Thunder.
and we were like, oh my God, that is a very good idea. He knows all our songs. He's a magnificent drummer. So we called Rob, and luckily he said yes. In the meantime, Christian actually recovered well enough to be able to play. So on stage tonight, we will have 2 drummers.
And one more singer.
One more singer. I've been searching since we started Euzen for a girl who could sing choir voices with me. And so tonight we have Emilie Lorentzen, which is also singing with Heilung. She's an amazing vocalist, and I'm so thrilled and happy. I was crying during the practice because there was like all of a sudden there was some harmonies there that I've just wanted my whole Euzen life. So.
And I'm gonna play guitar.
Chris gets to play guitar for the first time. So there's a lot of first-time moments tonight. Yeah, we're really looking forward.
I think all of these people are. And to be able to make that happen, we're going to have to let you go now.
Yeah, it's a good.
But before you step away, can we please have a huge applause for these awesome creative people? Keep it up, keep it up.
Enjoy your festival and see you tonight.
Thank you for participating and enjoy the show tonight.